Good. Let's get right to the hard hitting stuff. How's Mackenzie?
Ah, she's doing good. No, we've been very fortunate. So we she hasn't had any morning sickness or anything like that. So we've been doing great. It's kind of crazy seeing the movement and stuff. So it's definitely been an interesting, couple months watching her grow and the whole thing grow.
Awesome. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And this is the first time we get to talk to you, right? Since you came back, right? So just
Yeah.
how would you sort of describe that whole process?
Yeah. I think we were just trying to figure out what was best for us and our family, and you know, knew we wanted to be back here. It all made sense. I kind of made that clear throughout the whole process, I guess. But we're super excited to be back. Super excited to see all the new faces we've had and added, especially now, draft just ended. So, this is home. Like I've said, this is a special place to me. The Kraft family is very special to me. The community, the team, the coaches. So, I enjoyed playing here, and I want to play here.
Next, we'll go to Jim McBride, followed by Mark Daniels.
Hey, Dave. Just
Hey, Jim,
wondering
how are you?
good, how are you? Just wondering if it feels like more of a sense of normalcy in the building now this off season, and what that's like to kind of get back to that kind of sense.
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously there's still some, restrictions and guidelines and whatever you want to call them. But it's great to be back in the building. It's great to have the opportunity to go to work. I enjoy going to work, so I enjoy being around people and seeing people and being in the building. So I'm enjoying whatever normalcy we can get. So yeah, I'm happy.
And if I could, we heard last night that Ernie Adams is retiring, and I'm wondering if you have any stories about Ernie that that you'll always remember that kind of make you smile.
Um, Ernie's kind of like a mysterious, like mythical creature in the building, right? When you come in as a rookie, my rookie year was just after they did the big documentary um, on the 2014 season, and like that was kind of like the first like thing I ever remember about Ernie Adams. That documentary and him in his office talking about the Malcolm Butler play, and it's just kind of like what does this guy really do? Like, um, and he kind of became like an internet sensation and the pink stripe thing or whatever. But uh, kind of one of my first interactions, I remember I fumbled a snap in spring or training camp, something early, uh, and we were kind of running a guard pull play, and you know, um, Bill obviously had, didn't like that very much, and I ended up running a lap, and but then Ernie after practice at some point pulled me, like talked to me, and was just talking about like how it's one of the harder snaps because the quarterback's pulling away at the opposite direction for the handoff. You're going flat down the line to try to cut somebody off in a penetrating position. So he just talked to me about that, and um, and ever since then, I kind of was like, wow, all right. And he always made an effort to talk to Ernie when he was in the building, or I passed him in the building, about rules, whatever it may be. He's like an encyclopedia. So it's, you know, Ernie will definitely be missed around the building. That's for sure.
Thanks, Dave.
Next up, Mark Daniels. Then we'll go to Chris Ryan.
Hey, David. Hope all is well. I wanted to ask you about one thing with the free agent process. I know there was a point when the Pats signed Ted Karras and bring him back, and I think sort of the thought was, oh no, that means David isn't coming back. And I'm just wondering when that happened, sort of what was the reaction with you when you saw Teddy K coming back? Was your initial thought also sort of like, I guess this is it for me, or how did that sort of play out from that?
No, I mean, I don't ever believe in closing any doors. And obviously, me and Ted have worked together for what, 4 years before that. So, you know, it is, you know, Teddy's a great teammate. He's always been a great teammate, and obviously become a good friend of mine over those 4 or 5 years. And, you know, just excited to get the chance to work with him. You know, you get a friend back, and you obviously lost one in Joe, and, you know, kind of got Teddy back. So, you know, no, I never shut the door or anything like that. But, you know Ted can help this football team. So, you know, anybody that can help the football team, you want the person on that roster.
And this was obviously your first time going through the free agent process. Is it one of those things you're just glad it's behind you and you can, you know, focus on football?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think, yeah, kind of like I said going before, is like the business side of it and all that. And, you know, excited to be back in a place that I want to be in, and, you know, get the chance to go back to work.
Thank you.
So Chris Ryan, then Ian Steele.
Hey, David, hope all is well with you. Just your thoughts on what you've seen from the Patriots this offseason and the amount of talent that's been acquired, and also the draft, some initial impressions of Mac Jones.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, I think you got to be excited looking at it, right? You know, we can't do anything really. You know, there's certain limitations on what we can do practice-wise and things like that right now, obviously. But, you know, we're trying to do everything we can to make this football team better. And, you know, now it comes down to the stuff people don't want to talk about, is how much work we put in over the next, you know, 3 to 4 months. We made a lot of improvement on paper, and that's definitely a part of it. And now we have to become a football team. We got to work together, learn to work together, because obviously there's going to be a lot of new faces, and you know, just have to become a team and start putting it all together here. And, you know, that'll build through the offseason and obviously into training camp. So, you know, excited to, once we can, get the rookies into the building, get to working with them. You know, just excited to get the whole ball rolling here. Yeah, I don't even know when they're allowed to come into the building. Seems like they should be some of the first ones coming in, but you know, I don't know if they can come in for another week or so. So you have to check on the rules on that one, though.
And also, what role did the acquisitions play in your process? Because it seemed like the team was building up, guys were coming in, and then you were kind of the final piece with you coming back. Did it play any role, the fact that the offense was, you know, seemingly getting better on paper, and you wanted to be a part of that?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, obviously, that, like I said, I was excited to see, you know, some of the improvements we were making and some of the guys we were, you know, bringing in. You know, but I think, you know, there was more into it than just, you know, free agents in my decision. So, you know, but like I said, I'm definitely excited for what we're doing. You know, met a lot of the new guys. Excited to get the chance to actually get out and practice with them, you know, and kind of play football with them. You know, I mean, that's what we're all here for, is to play. So hopefully we get to do that soon.
Thanks. Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
And next up, Ian Steele, then Evan Lazar.
Hey, David. First, I guess, congratulations to you and the family, right? Baby Andrew's on the way.
Yeah, little boy on the way. Thanks, Ian.
Fantastic. When are you going to start him snapping? That's the question.
Oh, man, I don't know. Might be a hockey guy. We'll see. You know, we're living up here, so might be a hockey guy.
That's awesome. And a football question for you as well. I see the Georgia hat. Probably watched a lot of SEC football. Your impressions of Mac Jones when you watched him in college? I know he had a big game against Georgia last year. Just how much of him did you see watching the SEC last year?
Yeah, I didn't watch too much of it. I think I kind of watched some of that Georgia game a little bit. But yeah, I'm just excited to get to work with him. You know, I've heard a lot about him. I'm not a quarterback scout, so, you know, but I'm just excited to get to work with him, get to meet him, hang out with him. You know, heard a lot of great things about him.
Thanks, David. Congrats again.
Yep. Thank you, man.
And it looks like the last hand I see raised is from Evan Lazar, so we'll go to Evan, and I'll ask anybody else has any questions for David. Please raise your hand, but go ahead, Evan.
Hey, David. Congratulations, everybody. Echo everyone's sentiment there. And I just wanted to ask you, before the pads go on here, what can you guys accomplish as an offensive line without contact? Is it mental? Is it physical things that you guys can still do out there? And what do you hope you guys can accomplish over the next couple of months before camp gets underway?
Are you kind of talking like OTAs, like when we put on like helmets and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, we're able to do a lot of the drill work, right? You're hitting bags and things like that. So really working, focusing on technique, things like that. Really just working with each other, making the calls, you know, and I think, every offense has, right, like calls for double teams and things like that. But like sometimes you get out there and, we kind of form our own system of talking and operating. And, each person has a different way of operating and learning how to do that, learning how to communicate with each other. We're obviously not going to run plays against the defense and things like that as much, just in helmets. But we can do a lot of things on bags. Start practicing football. There's a lot of good things that come from OTAs. I think about to my rookie year and how much it benefited me. Even my second, third, fourth year. There's always little things you can work on, little things you can pick up and learn. So I think it does provide a good benefit for us. And it's fun to get out there and practice. And you are throwing the ball a lot because we don't, like I said, we're not going to just sit up there and run game. But we know when that will come in training camp, and it'll come soon enough. So I think there's a lot we can work on. Obviously have some new faces. And there's always new things we're going to be trying to do. Play schemes, things like that, and to get a head start of it in OTAs and kind of build on it and learn it. When you do get into training camp in July, it's not something that you're completely trying to figure out, right? You've already got a good base, and so I think it provides a big benefit for that.
Thanks, David. Congrats again.
Thanks, Evan.
Next up, Bob Sosi, and then we'll close out with Karen Garigi.
Thanks, Mike. Good morning, David.
Hey, Bob.
David, yesterday we learned that Isaiah Wynn's fifth-year option has been picked up. And I wanted to ask you a two-parter. One, his value to the team when he's on the field and that offensive line. How would you describe, the kind of player he's becoming? And number two, the way he's battled through the various episodes of adversity and injury thus far in his career. What does that say about it?
Yeah, I think obviously I've had a relationship with Isaiah for a long time, playing with him in Georgia and watching him over the years at Georgia. And always respected how he went about things. I think he's a tough football player. Obviously unfortunate some of the things he's had to battle through, but that's just part of this game. And you can't really control those. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. When Isaiah's out there, he's a great player. He can do a lot of different things with his athleticism that can really help us out. And it's interesting to watch him. And I always enjoy watching him because a lot of people say maybe his size, things like that, don't benefit him, but then you watch him just block the crap out of people at times. And so very excited for him. And it's we all have things we can get better at and try to be as healthy as you can. Obviously missed some time last year too, and you got to do everything you can to stay out there, but unfortunately it's just part of this game at times.
Thanks, David.
Yeah.
And last question to Karen Garigi.
Hi, David. How are you?
Good morning, Karen. I'm doing good.
Along with Teddy Karras returning, Trent Brown is also back, and it seems like the smile hasn't left his face since returning. What does it also mean having him back?
Yeah. I mean, first off, you forget how big Trent is. I kind of got used to it in 2018. It was just Trent. And then I saw him for the other day, whatever it was, and just was just couldn't believe he was laying on the. I remember walking in the training room and he was getting some treatment before we worked out, and I just could not believe how big that human is. But Trent's been great. He's obviously a great player. And obviously familiar with a lot of us. Being here in 2018, and just excited to have him back. He's a great player. Can really help our football team. Physical, big. And obviously a great teammate, a guy we love having around. So I'm very excited to have him back.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, David.